am a big advocate of making your own binding, whether straight grain or bias binding. And yes, you can cut it and fold it. And I have a whole playlist on how to make your own binding. However, if you want quick and easy, we also have these, the bias binder makers. And you may have been, or tape binder makers, I think they're also called. You may have seen them for sale and wondering whether they're worth the expense. I think they are. I don't use it all the time, if I'm being completely honest with you. I generally cut and do the folding method. But for quick and easy, for just standard sizing, there's nothing to beat these, I don't think. This particular one, I have no idea what brand it is. I couldn't tell you, but they come from all brands. So I'm going to show you how to use them and my little tips for using them as well. So let's go and take a look. I'm Kim. This is Quilt with Kim. You're very welcome. Let's go check these out. So first up then, we have got to choose our size. Now this is where it can be confusing for people. When we are quilting, we obviously work in imperial and inches, but these all seem to come in metric. So you have to do a bit of a translation, but there's a very quick and easy way of doing that. So this particular one is 25 mils. What does that mean? That means when the fabric is folded or your tape is folded and it comes out of this nozzle, it is that 25 mils in width, or about an inch. But let me show you. So here's one I made earlier. Okay, so this is the binding that has been folded. And if I hold the binder maker against, you can see that as it would come out of the little nozzle, how it's folded here is that 25 mil, and it is actually about an inch. So this is a very quick way I can show you. If you've got your cutting mat and you've got your inch markings, then just hold your binder maker up in that and it will tell you how big that is. So the first thing that we have to know is that you want to cut your strip of fabric. Sorry, you can't get out of doing that. You have to cut your fabric. You cut your strip of fabric 4 times your finished binding. What does that mean? Let me show you. So on here, our binding folds over like this, doesn't it? So that's what we see on the front of our project, or maybe on the inside of clothes if you're using it to finish. So this bit here that we can see, okay, this particular bit is about ½ an inch, or about what's that, 1 centimetre, 10 mil. So if we were cutting this strip, we would take that finished amount here and multiply it by 4, because if I open it up, you can see that I've got 4 folds here. Okay, so like there's 3 folds, 1, 2, 3 folds, but 1, 2, 3, 4 centimeters, because the edges come in and then it folds in half to finish. So don't be confused with the fact that it says 25 mil or 50 mil or 12 mil on the front, whatever the size is. That size relates to that bit when it's out flat. But we want to know what that measurement is, what we want to finish with to do our initial calculation. I know it's confusing, isn't it? But this is why I've recorded this video. So you want that finish. So that is our ½ an inch, or 10 millimeters, or 1 centimetre. And we have therefore cut that 4 times that amount to get our strip. And if you want some nice nice easy quilting terminology, I'd cut a 2-inch strip for the 25 mil. So there's your answer. So if you've got a 25 mil binder maker, cut a 2-inch strip of fabric and that'll do you. So if you look, it is much wider than our binder maker. That's exactly what we want to happen. So that will end up like that. Okay, So I'm going to put that to one side and I'm going to show you how to use one of these, because you can get them and think, oh, what am I doing? I have no idea. I'll just go back to the ironing and folding method. So what we want to do is lay our strip down, right side facing down. We want to get our little binder maker, and if you look, you can see that there's a gap inside, which is a sort of U shape. Okay, can you see here that we've got this like crevasse or crevice? Crevice here. That's what we're aiming for. So that is the right way up for your binder maker. So the flat bit with that U shape is facing down, okay? And then we want to feed this fabric through that loop. And that's the bit that can be really tricky, because you want to feed it through and have it up both sides, and you're thinking, how is that going to happen? Easy peasy, get a pair of scissors, ta-da, and cut just at an angle, and then you'll find that you can poke it through. Okay, now if it's still not, if it's getting caught in here, second little natty tool which you'll have is a pin. Get a pin, oops, get through the little slot at the back, and you can feed it through very easily and pick it out at the other end. That's the plan anyway, because obviously these things never work on camera. Okay, so we've got it poking out of front, so cut yourself a little angle, use a pin in the gap at the back to feed it through. Then before we go any further, if we hold it and look at that U shape again, we can see that it's all got a bit ruckled up. So what I want to do is make sure that that's all even, so the fabric is running smoothly through. So can you see it's going the entire, is that a length when you have the uprights as well? The entire sides and the bottom and the side again of your U shape. And having done that, then we go over to the iron. So I've got my natty, very temporary ironing board. I know if you've been watching me for a while, I still haven't got the new one. One day I'm going to surprise you. So you do this on your ironing board, it's a lot easier. You want to straighten it out with the tail of the fabric running behind you, and then you want this little tag bit, the bit that you fed through to start with, just coming out on your right hand side. If you're left-handed, do it the other way around, it's a lot easier. But with my right hand, I'm going to get my iron, I'm going to put it on that bit of fabric that's poking out, and I'm simply going to use the weight of my iron to hold the fabric as it's coming out, and at the same time, sorry you can't really see that, at the same time I'm going to pull my binder maker, and you would do that all the way up the length of your fabric. I'm not going to do that on here, but you can see now that you've got that's 1 inch width of binding, and then all we would do is flip that in half and run it along with the iron, which gives it a nice crease all the way down the middle, and then that would be ready to go on whatever project that you are heading for. So I hope that has helped, and you can use those bias makers now with complete ease. As I said, I tend to make my own binding, and I'll do all the folding myself, because I might want to vary the width of it. But if one of those works for you, absolutely use one of those instead. There's no rules here. You can use what you want and whatever is easier. And if you find those easier, I say go for it. This is supposed to be joyful and pleasurable, so let's make it like that. If this has been helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my weekly tips and tutorials. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.